Hello Akako, how you folks doing? In this video, my name is Armando. In this video, I will be talking about Hawaii's historic Parker Ranch. Previously, I talked about vaqueros, I talked about Paniolo music, and things like that. And it all centers around this historic ranch, which is called the Parker Ranch. So let's talk about the story of the Parker Ranch. Okay, so let's get started. Now, it all goes back to the story I told before about Captain George Vancouver of Cows and the King. It began with 5 cows brought across the ocean by British Captain George Vancouver in 1788, just 10 years after James Cook first landed in Hawaii. Vancouver presented the cows to King Kamehameha I, who ruled the 8 Hawaiian islands as one kingdom for the first time. Okay? Now, this George Vancouver is very instrumental in he was a good friend of King Kamehameha. He gave him muskets and weapons and things like that, and which Kamehameha used in his conquest of the Hawaiian Islands. So that was the gift that he gave to King Kamehameha. The king set his cows free to roam Hawaii Island and declared them to be kapu, or off limits. Now, over the next 20 years, the king's cows multiplied into thousands. Okay, so they became a nuisance after a while. They multiplied. And this leads us into the story of John Palmer Parker. And when Massachusetts sailor John Palmer Parker was 19 years old, jumped ship to visit Hawaii in 1809, the maverick cattle dominated the countryside, wreaking havoc on family farms and gardens. Okay? At that time when he first came, Parker stayed for a time, intended fish ponds for the king, and went to sea again during the War of 1812. And when he returned to Hawaii to live, he brought a new state-of-the-art American musket. Okay, so that's what he brought back with him. Now, the thing about it is, the king gave Parker exclusive permission not only to shoot the wild cattle, but to supply meat and hides for local and foreign consumption. The musket is still, to this day, in possession of Parker Ranch. I've never seen it, but I've heard they have possession of it. In less than a year, a thriving salt beef industry replaced sandalwood as the island's chief export. And Parker quickly grew into a respected man of wealth and influence. Okay? He learned to speak Hawaiian, adopted Hawaiian ways, and in 1816 married Chiefess Kipikane, granddaughter of Kamehameha I, and show a picture of Rachel Kipikane Parker. Okay, beautiful lady. That's who he married. Smart guy. Because, I'll explain now, they were awarded 2 acres of land on the slopes of Mauna Kea, where they built the homestead Manahale. They had 3 children and began the Parker dynasty that would play a dominant role in the next 2 centuries of Hawaiian history. So that was the beginning of the Parker dynasty. And I know many families that came from that Parker family. You know, there's the Lincolns, there's a lot of different families that are related to them. And Parker family today is huge, very huge. And they own, now the Parker Ranch is not the biggest ranch. It's one of the biggest, but it's not the biggest ranch. Okay? But it's one of the biggest, and they grow a lot of cattle there, and one of the famous persons that ever came out of that place was Ikua Purdy, who became one of the best, Paniolo, what they call Paniolo, Hawaiian cowboys that ever came out of Hawaii. And they competed in Wyoming and they won a lot of awards. He was first place. So that's the story of Sam Parker. Okay, and like I said, I've met some of his descendants personally, and it's pretty funny. So now I'm going to let you listen to some of the music, some of the Hawaiian Paniolo music. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, short video. Mahalo for watching, and ahui ho.
Ulule, oh, haulala, ulala, yeah. Well, a Rosalani dandy is a part of Maui Island. She surely got a caper on the lap about the sea. I'll lower my spurs, turn her aside, she wiggle, a whinny, a wiggle all the way. Off to the hills and to the souls of Rodney Bodie. Around through the bushes, what the hell was left to play. Rosalani loves her Hawaiian cowboy. Ulule, oh, haulala, ulala, yeah. Well, a calico Katie is a part of California. She can surely got a caper on the pebbles by the sea. I'll lower my spurs, turn on the side. She'd stiffen like a bronco and dance to the ride. Off through the hills into the slopes of Petaluma, around to San Francisco by the Golden Gate. Calico loves her Hawaiian cowboy. Hulule, oh, haulala, hulala, yeah. Well, I'm heading for the last round of Rosalani, Lady Malele, Huatu. I'll lower my spurs, turn on the side, they'd wiggle, a whinny, a wiggle all the way. Off through the hills into the slopes of Palakeko, around through the bushes where the heifers love to play. Aloha, says a Hawaiian cowboy. Hulule, oh, haulala, hulala, yeah. Hulule, lele, huale, hodule, lele, lele, huale, hodule. Vahaliulei huko inula ehana valoi havaila kaliko holoana meko iula ehul kui koili hoi o hevala oi kavaina holeu punane oi havai Aloha ik Hawaiian cowboy ulule lele huale olule lele huale olule Ha'alala mai au ia honu la ho ia ka bau ka ina malahini kawana ku wahelu kala pore ua ho mai la ole ua e wahelu kala koko ka ina malahini i au he wala oe ke aloha vela laha aloha ik Hawaiian cowboy hulule lele hua orule orule lele hua orule 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 I'm heading for the last round up. Oh, have a look at no Limalampono, or be down in a lie. You want to come on air? Oh, Yakabo gain in a lie. You have a look at a lohic Hawaiian cowboy. Hule, lele hua, orle, orle, lele hua, orle, orle, orle,